G major. We all know G major. Everyone's played that open version of it. There's so many other interesting versions to play though. How about A minor 7? Everyone plays the cowboy chord version of it. And it's great, and it works. But there's so many other interesting ways to explore that chord. Good old C major 7. When I was playing and learning how to play chords like this across the neck, it really opened my playing. And it surprised me that no one that I knew ever tried to teach or learn chords in a way that I could extend them like this. So I created the Guitar Chord Survival Kit. So the first edition of the Guitar Chord Survival Kit is available for free now to my email list. There's a link in the description. Sign up to get access to it. And it does a few things, but the main thing it does is it always focuses on movable chords. So there's no open strings, and you can move these to be whatever chord you need them to be, so it can focus on the type of chord. So for instance, this is all major chords on this page. These are all minor chords. These are all dominant 7th chords, all major 7th chords. And what it also does is it lays out the information across both the horizontal and vertical axes in ways that can be really helpful. So across the horizontal axis, you can see here the more common chord voicings will be on the left, and the least common, or like the more exotic chord voicings, will be on the right. Similarly, as we move up and down the vertical axis, you can see that the darker chords are towards the bottom, and the brighter chords in terms of timbre are towards the top. So if you're looking to play some rhythm guitar and maybe you want something with more of a traditional sound and feel, you might start in the bottom left and maybe move your way up. But if you're looking for something that maybe to challenge yourself with some new voicings, or something that sounds a little bit more exotic or feels a little bit different, you're going to want to move in this direction across the x-axis and maybe up and down to find the right feel for what you're doing. Let's take a look at actually applying this on the guitar and see what happens. So even if we start with one of the most common chord progressions of all time, G, D, E minor, and C, we can spice this up a ton by using different chord voicings for those same chords by finding them with the Guitar Chord Survival Kit. So we can even try the 7ths if we feel like them. Those G major 7, D7, E minor 7, C major 7, as you probably know in the cowboy chords. And they're all down here and maybe a little bit on the dark side because they're nice and low, but we can figure out new ways to play those chords up here. E minor 7 and C major 7. So we've got a lot of options, and we can really spice up something even as simple and like usual as that progression that we've all played and heard 1,000 times by using different chords. Let's try it out. So much more interesting just by doing something like that, even with the most simple and kind of usual of chord progressions. All right, so here's something else that's weird and kind of fun that you can do with this to just explore some new chords. I'm going to roll, other D&D nerds like me are going to have plenty of dice around. I'm going to roll a 1d6 and a 1d12, and that's going to tell me that on the first string on the 11th fret is where I'm going to keep my root. So that'll be an E flat. Then I'm going to roll a 2d4 to figure out what kind of chord it's going to be. So I've got 7 different chords. We've got major, minor, dominant 7, major 7, minor 7, diminished, and diminished 7. A 2d4 is going to roll me between 2 and 8. So I'm going to subtract 1 from whatever I roll and figure out which one of those chords it's going to be. So an E flat is the 11th fret of the E string. And I rolled a 4, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's major, minor, dominant, major 7, minor 7. So E flat, minor 7. Let's find minor 7 and find with the root. Oh yeah, so we'll start off with, of course, in the bottom left is our basic bar chord of it. There's a couple others that'll also work. Let's see what else we can do with an E flat minor 7. How about this one? We're moving up to be a little bit of a brighter tone, and this time we're going to stick with the E flat, but we're going with this chord right here with the root on the G string. So that's a nice feel. And maybe, what about this? So I've got a lot of different options there already. Oh, how about this guy? E flat would be here. So that's that one. And we can even do this and figure out 2 chords. So I've got E flat minor 7. Let's roll again. So that's an E flat again. Let's re-roll. The 2nd fret, the 3rd fret, so that's C. And the 2, so C major and E flat minor 7. So I can just try learning, and then a C major maybe. And then E flat minor 7. That is, oh, I can hear my cat in the background. Or let's try this one over here. This is a real unorthodox E flat minor 7. So I'm going to find this E flat. Oh, that to a C major. That's a shift I've not done before, but it's a great way to just kind of, you can of course use a random number generator on your phone or something, but this is another way to just kind of explore some chords, figure out what chord you're playing, maybe find 2 or 3, come up with a progression you wouldn't normally play, and start moving into areas and learning voicings for the chords that you wouldn't normally play. So the first edition of the Guitar Chord Survival Kit is available now, free to members of my email list. There's a link in the description. Make sure you sign up so that you don't miss out. Also like and subscribe, because I'm about to do the Autumn of Modes, where I'm going to go through all of the modes and do a lesson on each one every week after I do an introduction to what modes are and how they work. I get into modal interchange and how to use it for your lead playing as well as for your songwriting. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. I've been waiting a long time to do it. I'm really excited about it. I post a long video every Tuesday and a shorter video every Fretboard Friday. I hope to see you soon. Cheers.